File 13A, The Neighbor Who Never Blinked. The SecretStories Archive opens File 13A, Suburban Fixed Point Entity. This document concerns an observation-type incident that occurred on October 11th in Woodland Creek Subdivision, North Carolina. Attached material includes video, audio, witness logs, motion detector captures. The subject of the report, Daniel R., age 32. Complaint, initial trigger, presence, stationary figure, non-responsive silhouette. Nothing unusual until it was. The first report came at 21:47. Subject states he walked past his kitchen window and noticed the neighbor, identified as Mr. Hargrove, age unknown, standing in his yard. Weather, drizzle beginning, light wind. Temperature, 12 degrees C. Visibility, mild fog near lampposts. The figure stood near the property line, facing the subject's house. Hands lowered, head tilted slightly upward as if observing the second floor. No movement recorded for 2 minutes 43 seconds on the footage. When the subject opened the back door to take out the trash, the figure did not react. Not to the sound, not to the motion detector light, not to the door opening. The subject describes an immediate sense of misalignment, as if the posture of the figure was held, not assumed. He returned inside and continued observing through the blinds. At 21:53, the figure performed a single action. It rotated its head, only the head, in one smooth, uninterrupted movement. But the rotation didn't stop at a normal angle. Footage shows a 162-degree turn, far beyond cervical limits. The subject froze. He states he whispered, "That's not right." The figure did not blink, not once, during 18 minutes of recorded observation. Subject did not approach. Correct action. The second event occurred the next night at 21:47 exactly. Same position, same posture, same direction of gaze. Subject claims he checked neighborhood cameras. No one else reported seeing the figure. However, motion sensor data from a nearby home shows no heat signature in the area where the figure was standing. Video from the subject's own camera contradicts this, showing full silhouette, stable outline, zero thermal glow, no blink activity, no clothing movement despite wind speed of 12 miles per hour. At 21:52, camera logs a brief distortion, 1.2-second glitch, vertical smear across the upper body of the figure. The subject reports feeling mild chest pressure at the same moment, though he was inside his home. By the fourth night, subject begins suspecting the figure is appearing exclusively for him. Other neighbors report seeing nothing unusual. One remark from a neighbor, Mrs. Lawson, "I saw him earlier today, normal as always. He waved, looked fine." Archive notes, the figure described waving is inconsistent with the fixed posture recorded in all night footage. Night 5, rainfall begins at 18:40. By 2200, heavy storm. The figure remains in the yard, soaked, unmoved. At 22:14, the subject steps outside briefly to close the shed door before the wind damages it. When he turns back toward the house, the figure is suddenly in front of him. Distance closed from approximately 48 meters to 0.9 meters with no transition visible on any camera. Subject's description, he was standing too close, close enough that the water dripping from his chin hit my jacket. But recordings show no droplets leaving the figure. Rain appears to curve around its outline. Camera audio captures low static around the subject during the encounter. Temperature reading drops from 12 degrees C to 4 degrees within 3 seconds. The subject steps back. Correct action. No fight or engage attempt. The figure's lips part. Jaws do not move, only the lips. Words emerging in a distorted tone. "You're earlier tonight." Subject retreats, locks the door. Reports shaking but coherent. Archive notes discrepancy. The subject left the house at 22:14. The entity's statement implies foreknowledge of the subject's routines. Night 6. 2 separate recordings contradict each other. Camera hand 1, backyard, shows the figure standing at the far boundary, 51 meters away. Camera 2, porch, shows the figure standing at the porch railing, 2 meters away. Both recordings are time-stamped identically, 21:47:08 to 21:49:16. Neither shows transitions or movement. Figure simply exists in both locations simultaneously. Police contacted by subject. Officer Alvarez reports arriving at 22:03, states, "There was no one outside. Yard was empty. No footprints. Ground too muddy for someone to stand without leaving marks." But the footage clearly shows the figure standing on wet soil. No footprints forming. No sinking. Just presence. At 22:11, another contradiction. Subject sees the figure outside the window, but camera facing that window shows nothing. Audio, however, captures a low whisper, pitch-stretched. Watching hours. Learned patterns. Archive notes. Subject begins experiencing subtle disorientation, lost track of time, forgetting small steps of his routine. This correlates with similar cases of proximity to observation-type anomalies. Night 7. Subject sets up additional cameras, including one thermal and one directional microphone. At 21:46, the entity is already present. No arrival captured. Footage shows elongated shadows, slight stretching of limbs with frame jitter. Facial features blur when zoomed. Chest area remains perfectly still. No breathing. Directional microphone captures internal resonance, like a voice recorded inside a metal container. Subject reports hearing quiet footsteps inside the house at 21:53, despite all doors being locked. Pattern matches the subject's own gait. He checks the hallway. Empty. When he returns to the monitor setup, camera 3 shows a frame where the entity stands inside the house at the foot of the stairs, but only for one frame, 1/60th of a second. Next frame, gone. In the same moment, subject feels a cold presence behind him. Turns. No one there. No footprints. No sinking. At 22:01, another contradiction. Thunderstrike at 22:01 illuminates the yard. Camera 4 captures the entity in 3 simultaneous positions: near the fence, at the porch, directly behind the subject through the window reflection. All figures blink in perfect sync for the first time on record. Temperature drop inside the house from 21 degrees Celsius to 13 degrees Celsius in under 1 minute. Subject whispers in the log, "It's not outside anymore." The final recording is time-stamped October 18th, 0112. Subject leaves the house to drive away, bags packed, keys in hand. Cameras capture the entity near the fence, unmoving. As the subject steps toward his car, lightning reveals a contradiction. For 0.7 seconds, the figure is suddenly in front of the subject, close enough that the camera catches the moisture on the subject's breath reacting to its presence. Entity leans forward. Voice emerges, deeper, more precise. "I learned your schedule." Subject drops his phone. Camera continues recording. The entity's shape flickers, then collapses inward, folding like a shadow being pulled through a narrow gap. No sound. Subject is seen running toward the car. Door opens, then freezes mid-motion. Frame shows the subject standing still for 11 seconds, body slack, as if controlled. Next frame, he sits in the driver's seat and drives away. But analysis shows the man in the car does not match the subject's body posture in any previous footage. Proportions altered, shoulders narrower, neck longer, chin angle steeper. Car leaves the street. No arrival registered at his destination. Subject has not contacted anyone since. This concludes File 13A, Suburban Fixed Point Entity. Subject relocated, presumed missing. Anomaly remains active within digital records. Recommend immediate avoidance of similar stationary figures exhibiting non-blink behavior. Archive guidelines. Do not engage. Do not approach. Do not assume distance is real. Do not open the door if the figure speaks. File closed. No further submissions.